Tiffany, come up here real quick. I'm sorry. All right, let me introduce you guys to a really special lady here. Her name is Tiffany Hatton. All right, she heads up Parents' Choice LA. She is, I don't know how I even got in touch with her, but I knew what she was doing I don't know, but I knew what she was doing. That's right, amen, amen. I knew what she was doing for the school. She was going to the school board, and they were going back and forth to these meetings, trying to get some action out of these school board members, okay? Well, what we didn't know is they took all this money so they wouldn't vote. They wouldn't vote on unmasking your kids. These people are actually keeping money in their pocket to mask their kids. They just had 2 functions last week, hundreds of them sitting on top of each other. You know how many masks I saw? None. They think they can torture your kid by putting a mask on their face and pad their pockets. That's a wrap. We're done. Sorry, Tiff. Here you go.
How do I follow up that? Okay, so I'm Tiffany Hatton. I am a resigned educator from Ouachita Parish. I consider myself an asset to them. During my 6.5 professional years, I taught math and Spanish as a foreign language. I have a background in education. I was called by the board to do it. And I truly believe the suffering and the abuse, the harassment, the bullying that I went through in 6.5 years was the Lord preparing me to do just what I'm doing today. He called me to action. He called me to move. And so I surrendered, and that's what I'm doing. As Lance says, we really cannot recall how we are being connected. It's divine appointation. I mean, how Danny McCormick and, A.G. Landry can look at me and say, I know you. You remember, I've been out in the public eye for over a year. You don't know I do. And it brings me back to the words of the Lord so intensely, that he appoints people to go and to receive messages from those that can keep pushing on forward. And that's exactly what I've been experiencing. Everybody that's working with me is experiencing this on a personal, spiritual level as well. So Parents' Choice formed from 3 mama bears that decided, you know what, we can't just stand here and watch this anymore. And all 3 of us are now homeschool moms. So that speaks volumes, and things end up trickling down into the homeschool sector. So people want to say, you don't even have a dog in this fight. You're not even in the education system anymore. Actually, we do, because even private schools go by public school holidays when they're out. All their rules and regulations, most every other formed education alliance goes by that, okay? So it does affect us. So Parents' Choice formed to fight for parents to fight to keep your kids in school. This wasn't about, being a defeatist and, everybody would draw your kids and everybody homeschool. No, we wanted to fight to take our schools back, not just because we wanted our kids to have the social aspect and the sports and extracurriculars. It was because we loved our teachers, and we wanted those people that are appointed by God in that career to be able to, teach our kids. However, we are here where we are because even the pleading and the going to the meetings and everything that we have done as a group, as a community, has fallen on, money. They, we were there to help them. We were there to say, your community's behind you, make the right decision. They looked us in the face and said, no, we don't want your help. We're getting the money. Their stance was very clear. So do you want choice of where your tax dollars go for education? As a community, I want to hear you say, I want my choice. Do you want your choice of where you want your kid to go to school? Well, Parents' Choice LA, one of the groups, we are now a 501c4 established group in the state of Louisiana. We, in the coming months, and we're going to be, trying to get with other states that already have this in place. We are going to try to work with legislatures and draw up legislation so that we, the taxpayers, not just parents, but all taxpayers, get to decide where their education money goes. How important would that be to you? Pretty important, right? So if you wanted your kids to be in a homeschool co-op that's registered through the state, guess what? Your tax money would go to that. If you wanted your kids to go to, NBS, Your money would follow your kids wherever you decided to put your kids, okay? That's what's at stake for this school system. And they didn't want to hear us. They didn't want to have anything they didn't want the help. They didn't want anything, okay? We had a lot to offer for them. And you know what they kept telling us? My hands are tied. My hands are tied. And I remember speaking to one school board member, and I said, we're trying to help untie your hands. Let us help you. Well, we just don't have the numbers for it. Okay, so call on your community. Let's get people to help untie your hands. Well, so here's the deal. Just as Jill, just as Lance mentioned, you have to stop sending your kids to school masked. Help teach them how to fight for their personal bodily autonomy rights given by our state constitution, our parents, and God. And so we have requested time and time again for help from the school board, the members themselves, and they've rejected it. We've given them countless opportunities, from adverse reaction reports for the mask. We've given, you know, all these resources to let them be the ones to make something happen. They've done nothing other than say, our hands are tied. Oh, well, it's liability with insurance. Oh, well, it's this. Well, it's the superintendent. Superintendent says, well, it's Louisiana Department of Health. It just keeps the buck just keeps getting passed on. Nobody wants to take credit. So we do have solutions to untie their hands. Okay, sending your kids with no mask. Okay, deciding where our educational tax goes. That would get their attention pretty doggone quickly. Helping our educators find out where their money has gone. Did y'all know that educators were promised frontline worker pay? Did they receive any of it? Nope. You know that there's over $3 million that's still sitting there that was unused that they're trying to allocate to put toward other things, but yet they don't have COVID relief pay for their workers. Pregnant educators are being told you have to get vaccinated, or you're using all those precious sick days that you've saved up to be able to be on maternity leave with your baby. So now they're being like, okay, so I'm either going to go leave without pay that affects my retirement, or inject myself with something that very well could cause death upon my pregnancy and my child. I mean, the educators are, and the support staff, Lord help them. These people want to fight back, but they are being now threatened, especially the educators, to go under psychiatric eval to determine if they're fit to teach in the classroom, if they do not comply and withhold and upheld everything that they're being asked to do. Are y'all okay with that? What is that causing to happen in the classroom? Retaliation against the kids that want to fight back. The teachers, okay, I'm going to give you a little testimony. 7th grade, what happened? September 11th happened. In the classroom, we had our Bibles all the time. All the time. We were reading from it. We were sharing Sunday school stories. We were doing everything. After September 11th happened, our teachers came in. They were like, Tiffany, you cannot have your Bible out anymore. I will get in so much trouble. We can't have it in the classroom anymore. Admin will reprimand us. It cannot be seen. You're going to cost me my job. That's when that indoctrination started happening. So what happened? No more Bibles in the classroom. What did they do? They boxed God up into FCS 15 minutes in the morning before school, before the buses got dropped off. So was God in our schools anymore? No. We were threatened all the time and reprimanded by teachers for not even having our Bibles in the classroom. So I become an educator. What are they telling the kids now? If you don't leave your mask on, if you don't do that, you're going to get me reprimanded. You're going to get me fired. You're going to have me sent home whenever I don't have sick days. Put your mask on. You're going to kill Mama and Peppa. That's the problem. So now the educators are starting to retaliate again. This has not been an educator versus parent fight until now. And y'all are probably experiencing, some parents are probably experiencing getting written up on the bus, getting written up in class, having to request, breathing breaks for cardiac patients. You know, we had a kid over the summer have open heart surgery. What does it take to help the heart pump oxygen? What about all the kids with cleft palate issues having reconstructive surgery to help them breathe? They're having to relearn how to breathe, and you're telling these kids, we're not accepting your medical exemption because you're fine, it's not hurting you. And the kids having to be picked up 2 and 3 times a day just to sit in the mom's vehicle to have breathing breaks, as Jill said. Is that not torture? That's torture, guys. So we do have solutions, but it depends on how the community decides to join us. Parents Choice LA, Lance, Miss Jill's organization. We've got an organization out of Ruston, We the People. If we could collectively get together, start communicating and making these plans, we can get this. The solution is there. If you stand up, as Lance said, if we stand up together right now, it's going to be over very quickly. It's not ended because not enough people have said, we're done, we're not complying. If it takes courage of 10 parents saying, you're not wearing your mask all day, I'm going to be in that pickup line, I'm going to be in your parking lot all day. Let them say something. Know your constitutional law of the state. Fight them back on it. If they send you home or reprimand your kid, you've got more power, documentation, proof that whenever we get an attorney and whenever we get the funds to fight this in court, we are going to have all the documentation and take this thing down. But we've got to have it. You've got to stand up to it. All right. So, as Lance said, one of the things that I requested in the last school board meeting was return the money. It does give you authority over what's going on whenever you accept the money. It absolutely gives you the authority. Stop accepting it. Give the parents a waiver of liability for your insurance company, just like all the doctors have you sign waivers of liability whenever you have surgery. Hello, that's a solution. Involve your parents more. How many of y'all are welcome in the teacher's classroom now in elementary school? They don't want you there. They don't want you knowing what's going on in the classroom. You have to make an appointment just to meet your teacher or go into your school. Who owns the school? You. Man, so how are we going to fight this? Stop masking your kids. Stop participating in it. Fight for your teachers. Let's research this. Let's figure out where this money's going. Who has the money? What is it going to be spent on? $3.5 million, that's a lot of money. Don't y'all agree? I mean, there's a tons of stuff that I could say that could go to. So I'm going to leave you with this. We have forms over here on these 2 tables. It's for your contact info. It's for the best time to contact you, us to contact you, Lance, all of our group, all of our team members. And it has opportunities for you to get involved. School board meetings, school board recall, what's the other stuff? Protest, handing out flyers, advertising, spreading the word, getting people to, come, the phone tree that Lance mentioned. We've got to get off of Facebook. We've got to have people that have 10, intimate people that they can, reach out to one another, keep everybody up to date, and go about it that way. So I'm going to leave you with this. Are we defeatists? Are we defeatists? No. Because as of right now, we've been defeatists. We've got to get out of that. We are victors. Who makes us a victor? Jesus Christ. We are victorious. We're going to win this. It's about standing up together. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jill. Tiffany, thank you. All right, so we kind of know where we're headed with this deal right now is that the first thing to ending this whole thing is to put our foot down and say no more, okay? You guys agreed with me earlier that we're going to send our kids to school on Tuesday morning with no mask, no matter what, okay? We deal with it, all right? This ends when we end it. This is about freedom or not for freedom. You know, the funny thing about the mask is they want to mask your children, okay? But they don't want to mask the celebrities. They don't want to mask 100,000 people in the football stands last weekend. They don't want to mask the Met Gala over there. You know who was wearing the mask at those big events? You know who was wearing them? The people holding the dresses walking behind them. Those people aren't, they're servants. Yeah, it's ridiculous, all right? Slaves, all right? So we know communism is at our front door, and the only way we're going to be able to defeat it is together, okay? Let's see what else I got here. All right, if you guys have heard, if you guys have just heard something new today that I've mentioned, please reach out to me. You know, as Christians, it's time to stand up. All right, not only are our families under attack, but our faith is under attack. Okay, we are in a spiritual battle of epic proportions, and if you don't see it, you're not looking in the right places. Okay, in a spiritual battle, who is up front? The men and women of faith. Okay, we put our feet down and we plan forward and we go right at it. All right. Now, everybody that you know, okay, I'm so happy that so many people showed up today. Okay, you never know what's going to happen with these things, but I know that everybody wants their dang freedom. So the people that we're going to do this. This is the plan. Okay. End of October, first part of November. Okay. We're going to put 10,000 people in the stands at the Speedway if the guy's still going to let us have it. All right. Every group of people, when you guys go back to your people, any groups of people that you know, we're all coming together. Okay. But between now and then, all right. So anybody that has friends that did not show up, okay, that had to go put corn at their corn feeders today or had to watch a football game today, make them feel like crap, because this is about freedom and that's all this ever was about. Okay, that's ridiculous. If you got to go do something else, you got to get your priorities straight. All right, and I'm not trying to preach at you, but I know where this is headed. If we don't do something, it's over. All right. Am I forgetting anything? Wrap it up. Okay. All right, I'm being told to wrap it up. It's been going a long time. So look, I've got a way to kind of get in touch with me. I've got a Telegram channel that everything that I'm talking about today and real news. Real treatments for COVID, okay, by approved doctors, all right, Nobel Prize award-winning doctors that have been censored, okay, from the internet because they have something that works and they can't make money off of it because it's not a vaccine, okay? I have life-saving information I'm going to put on my Telegram channel, okay? It's We the People LA, all right? We the People LA, all right? Please, everybody, before you leave here, give me your phone number, okay? Every social media that I have been on, I have been kicked off of. We're spreading this all apart. We're going to go old school. When we organize stuff like this, we're going to call you, okay? We're going to text you. We're going to stay in touch. Thank you all so much for coming, all right? God bless y'all. You guys have a great day.